Good morning, Mike Uden here at One Call Maintenance. We are working on a project in the southwest where we have some decks over heated space, and what they've put is vinyl there over the years, or some other membranes that just aren't working. They poke holes in them, and the living rooms underneath are getting flooded. So what we're doing is stripping them down. We're spray foaming insulation to get it all sealed up airtight, and then we are putting a Suprema. It's a two-part. It's basically a cold applied torch on. These are cedar buildings, so I'm not bringing a blowtorch anywhere near the places. And so I've got the guys stripping the deck. They just pretty much finished it yesterday and are tidying up this morning, so I'm going to head over there and see where we're at. Spray foam guys are there this afternoon. All right, so I made it to the deck here. As you can see, we pulled up the old deck. Probably not the best video. We're going to get the spray foam guys in here, so we've laid down some insulation. This is just really thin, and that's just really to keep the spray foam off the drywall, because there's no vapor barrier here, which is one of the reasons I'm using a 2-pound foam, to make sure that we have a solid vapor barrier. So I'll do a U-turn here. The spray foam guys will come and spray all this today. This will be filled in, and then we'll have it sheeted tomorrow. We had some water coming in from the top here at Lattice because it snowed and it's starting to get pretty warm. So we're going to actually hoard this off because it's got to be bone dry for us to put the membrane down. So right now we're tarping it off. So there you go. We have it tarped off, and the spray foam guys will be here in about 2 hours. So we're ready to go. We're going to pop over to another job we've got right next door. All right, so here's our next project. We're up on the deck right next door. As you can see, we're going to replace this ridge capping. The guys did the job here not long ago, and we've got issues. Got lots of issues with this ridge cap. It just got put on too tight, and there's a leak on this deck. We know a few spots, so we're doing it from this side because that side's a fall. As you can see, it's pretty far down. So we're coming from this side because there's a deck here. So that's where we're working off of. But yeah, we're going to replace this whole ridge cap. You can see some of them are just pulled apart, just put on too tight. And so this is our next project, and we're going to get started on this while we're waiting for the spray foam crew to show up. And they're going to be at about another hour or two. So sent the guys to lunch, getting this set up, and all new ridge cap. So one of the other things, this is the deck where we are doing that peak flashing. We're going to replace that. But down at the bottom here, there's also a leak in the area below. And this is one of those other heated spaces I was talking about where they use Duradeck. This is actually a roof. There's a bedroom below here. And the vapor barrier is actually right underneath this plywood that's holding the Duradeck. And then the insulation, and then the drywall. So the vapor barrier on these isn't that great. We have replaced one of these decks before with the same membrane we're using downstairs next door. And we spray foam it as well. I love the spray foam because it gets in all the nooks and crannies and it vapor barriers it. Now, we were here last week when it was about 15 degrees, and we flood tested this deck, and right in that corner there was a leak. And as you can see, when they did the roof this spring, the shingles they run right down. I mean, they're touching and pressing against this Duradeck, which I don't like. So we're actually going to cut these up 6 inches. And I've ordered some flashing that we're gonna pry all these out and put some flashing under there. But I also need to expose that corner because there is a leak there. Only during a heavy rain, so it's either build up, wicking, something along those lines. So there's a lot of work to do on this deck. So the guys just went to get lunch, and when they come back, we will get going on this and kind of doing 2 jobs at one time, but they're right next door. So the peak flashing is all done. I've got it, you can see right across the top there, I've got Lawrence cutting the bottom row of shingles that we were talking about, so I'll pop up there and see how that's looking. Alright, so Beyond Foam is here. I love these guys. In my humble opinion, they're the best spray foam guys in Calgary. I don't know if you can see it in the video, the weather has deteriorated quite a bit. It's a pretty good amount of snow, so fortunately we covered that earlier today. It's about 2:30 now, so the guys are gonna finish spray foaming, and my guys will finish cleaning up all the debris there, and this will be all prepped and ready to go. The crew's gonna be here tomorrow to sheet it, and we'll see if it gets wet at all on Thursday, and we'll try to put the membrane down Thursday. It's supposed to be about 10 degrees for the remainder of the week after tomorrow. and we should be able to get it waterproofed.